Welcome to the Grunin Prize Awards ceremony. I'm Helen Scott, co-director of the Grunin Center for Law and Social Entrepreneurship, the co-sponsor of this conference. It is my great pleasure to be a part of this event, at which we recognize and honor the lawyers and legal teams who have stepped up during the last year to create and implement our extraordinary set of finalist projects. During the conference, you have had the opportunity to hear the Grunin Prize finalists, both from last year, when we had to cancel the conference, and from this year, all speak about their work. They're all inspiring, representing the kind of lawyering and community which we are building and supporting. These projects reflect enormous hard work, creativity, the use of law to surmount obstacles, and in this year of pandemic, the ability and willingness to step up in emergency circumstances to buttress communities in distress. I had the honor of starting off this year's conference by introducing the opening plenary, Sustainable Value Creation, Making It Real. We now reach the final event of the conference, which brings the theme home in a concrete fashion. These lawyers and teams of lawyers have done just that. By their skills and determination, they have made it real. In today's program, you will first hear from the Dean of NYU Law School, Trevor Morrison, who has demonstrated a deep understanding and unflagging commitment to the mission of the Grunin Center. You will then hear from last year's Grunin Prize winner, David Goldstein, who will talk about his wonderful project. Following David will be Jay Grunin, a benefactor whose vision and support have been and remain so critical. And then finally, from Deborah Burand, my co-director and conference co-chair, who will present this year's Grunin Prize. So with no further ado, I'd like to welcome Dean Trevor Morrison.
Thank you, Helen, for your welcome remarks. And thank you, Jay, for your vision to create the Grunin Prize for Law and Social Entrepreneurship, an award that recognizes lawyers' participation in all the ways in which business is increasingly in a position to advance the goals of sustainability and human development. Now, although we are gathered virtually this year, our annual conference has showcased for a number of years the creative work and extraordinary contributions that lawyers are making here in the United States and around the world to respond to some of the world's most intractable problems. This conference has also highlighted the challenging work that is still to be done to ensure that the solutions being created to address these problems have a lasting and meaningful impact in boardrooms, across negotiating tables, within the halls of government, and even in classrooms of law schools like ours here at NYU. The Grunin Prize is one way that we celebrate the intellectual capital that lawyers are bringing to the table as they put positive impact and purpose into their law practices. This afternoon, we are celebrating the Grunin Prize finalists for both 2020 and 2021. You've had a chance to hear from many of these finalists over the last 2 days as they've shared the extraordinary projects that they have advanced, the new deal structures they've created, and the new collaborations that they've forged. Now, I would like to introduce and congratulate the 2020 Grunin Prize winner, David Goldstein, managing partner of Goldstein Hall, for the innovative work that he and his colleagues contributed to create a new form of joint ownership entity called the JOE. As you will hear from David, the JOE is intended to be a game changer for affordable housing in New York City and beyond. Congratulations to David. Let's hear from him now.
The solution was the creation of the JOE, the joint ownership entity. It's a not-for-profit membership organization, basically a joint venture of not-for-profits coming together, working together to create the scale necessary to compete with affordable housing developers. The JOE solves many of the problems which nonprofits cannot solve on their own. They can create scale, create economy of resources, savings across a portfolio, and use of reserves across a portfolio, which you cannot do as a single entity. So the JOE has been very successful during COVID in helping its members. one of the things that has been very helpful is that the Joe's reserves have been able to help members cover rent shortfalls during this time. Two, as an asset manager, has been able to find cost savings that allow the projects to remain profitable. And three, the members have been able to work together and communicate to talk about best practices and how to deal with issues that they are facing. So Goldstein Hall's role in creating the Joe was a really important lesson to us as a law firm. We had our own preconceived notions going into these meetings, what we thought it should be. But the first thing we had to do was actually listen to our clients. And that's really important. A lot of lawyers forget that. So we spent a lot of hours listening, trying to figure out, what do they want? It's not what we wanted, it's what they wanted. When it came to that, we spent hours and hours putting together PowerPoints, creating different legal structures, everything to try to show them under the sun. But after listening to them some more, we realized what they wanted. And they wanted a not-for-profit entity, something that looked like them. So part of it was our listening. The other part was that as lawyers, we had to be creative. We had to come up with a structure that met the demands of the client. And the other part that was really challenging for us is that we had to create new documents, things that we hadn't seen before, because we were creating a totally new entity. There were no forms to work off of. There was no book to go to. This is allowing lawyers to be creative and the ability to really think through a problem. And I think that the client really appreciated that. So it's a great honor for Goldstein Hall to be the recipient of the 2020 Grunin Prize. I have to say that all the hard work the people in the office have done on behalf of the Joe and its members, the countless hours working on this, it feels like a real validation to us, and we truly appreciate that. Also, the prize really feels like a validation to the firm. We are a B Corp. We believe in the socially mission as a law firm, and to work with not-for-profits and other community development corporations to see them become successful and continue to preserve affordable housing is really important to us. I think that the Joe is a game changer. And I think in these times during COVID has really shown to be more than ever, affordable housing is at the forefront of the issues in America. We're dealing with issues of equity and race, that people are literally living paycheck to paycheck in this country, and the need to have affordable housing that is decent and affordable is really incredibly important. And hopefully the Joe is an innovative tool which will allow not-for-profits to remain competitive in their ability to preserve affordable housing long-term. So I really want to thank you for this award. It's a great honor. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to our firm. And the fact that we were even considered and that we've been finalists and winners, it's a tremendous feeling. Thank you again. We appreciate it very much.
Good afternoon to all. My extemporaneous remarks will be exactly a mere 848 words, 42% of which are monosyllabic. So please, please, please don't fast forward. What an honor and privilege it is for me to share this time with you. It was more than 6 years ago that the germ of an idea for a center dedicated to social entrepreneurship and impact investing was born. Little did we imagine the magnitude of lawyer involvement in this space. Their worldwide contributions in both the public and private arenas, as again so readily apparent in the process of selecting the winner of this year's Grunin Prize from such an astonishing list of nominees, more than reaffirms the need for an international center of this kind, and makes me very proud to say that our foundation team was present from the very, very beginning, right alongside our incredible lead partner, NYU Law, as well as so many other talented individuals. NYU Law holds a very special place in my heart. It was here that I met the girl who was not only my classmate and study companion, but who was later to become my wife, as well as my 50% partner in law and business. And while Linda is no longer here with us on this earth, I know that she is definitely here in spirit. Although my roots are in New York, where I was born and educated, and where I had my initial real-world legal experience, I like to think of myself, first and foremost, as a small-town lawyer. We set up our small mom-and-pop practice a mere 65 miles from here on the central New Jersey shore, in a then little town called Toms River. Through our hard work and good fortune, we were able to eventually establish a foundation whose mission was and is to uplift the lives of people in our region by transformative and focused investments in education, healthcare, and the arts, all while driving economic growth. A little bit akin to lawyers in the social entrepreneurship impact investing field, who unglamorously and invariably, and out of the spotlight, are constantly seeking to come up with new ideas and methods directed toward making our world a better place through innovative and replicable projects. Our foundation had, for quite some time, been aware of the then nascent social entrepreneurship and impact investing movement, and the concept of sustainability, that is, doing good while doing well enough to be self-sufficient. Our natural curiosity to learn more resulted in our foundation team acquiring knowledge of the existence of numerous pods of dedicated lawyers around the world already engaged in this field, not only as technicians implementing the ideas of others, but perhaps more significantly, as critical thinkers and innovators, without whom this field of human endeavor would not be where it is today. When we first broached to NYU the concept of a law center for this field, and later an annual accolade to recognize an attorney or a group of attorneys applying their legal talent to this area of the law, we were made aware that there were two professors at the law school who were already heavily involved in this efflorescing space, namely Helen Scott and Deborah Grunin, who together have been the essential lifeblood of this venture. Their indefatigable work and the work of the center's advisory board and the faculty here at NYU, led by our remarkable dean, Trevor Morrison, have been nothing short of spectacular. My son Jeremy and I, along with the rest of our foundation staff, are so fortunate and proud to be part of this amazing and dynamic team. What we have witnessed over the past 4 years is collaboration at its finest. This center, the first and still the only one of its kind at a law school, is already a trailblazer in social justice and education innovation, and is sparking a movement that we are sure will transform the way law creates positive impact in the world. But now I would like to bring us back to why we are all here this afternoon, the Grunin Prize. As a member of the judging panel, I must say that I am in awe of all of the nominees. Your work to develop innovative, scalable, and social entrepreneurship solutions using existing law, legal education, or the development of new legal structures is impressive, to say the least. You are the best in your field, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be a part of the profession I have chosen and of the recognition event that we are here today to celebrate. As an aside, and reflecting on the difficulty of picking an ultimate single winner, I wondered aloud why we couldn't just follow the example of a recent National Spelling Bee competition and simply declare all 6 finalists as co-winners. This afternoon is all about the nominees, your incredible work, and the awarding of the prize. Thank you, Dean Morrison, and the entire NYU team for hosting this wonderful recognition gathering.